I'm nervous to share this, but I'm gonna share it anyway. Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. I've been trying to figure out the best way to do this video. It's been on my mind and in my heart for a while. I don't know. I hope this is a good setup. I wanted to try something a little different because it's not a haul or anything like that. It's just a regular intimate video where I'm sharing some things about myself like I always do. But I wanted to I wanted to sit down. Hey honeys, how are y'all? How are y'all doing today? I'm doing well, if you ask. I'm doing well. I wanted to sit down and just talk to y'all on a more intimate level. I hope y'all like this new background I was trying to go for, but I wanted to get and sit down and talk to you about something a little more intimate. So I figured the changing up the background would be helpful in this situation. But yeah, if you're new here, please consider subscribing, and if you've been here before, thank you so much for your continued support. I wanted to discuss something that happened to me a few years ago. I'm still going through it, but as my best friend used to tell me, just keep going, and when you get to the other side, things will be better. I feel like I'm more on the other side because I've kind of dealt with it emotionally and everything. So I wanted to have a conversation to see if someone else have the same problem or have went through something similar. So I'm going to give a little background about me and my faith, because this is more about my faith walk with God and different things that I've been through. So I wanted to share this one specific thing. I was raised Baptist, Southern Baptist too, Southern Baptist, and it does make a difference. But I was raised Baptist, and I was taught that you have to have faith. You have to have faith. I had I had faith until I really started operating in blind faith. And in this situation, I don't think it did me any service. It didn't do what I thought it could do. Because sometimes I know for me, when you're operating in blind faith, you are trying to force God's hands into doing what you want him to do and not really dealing with the situation in the right way. So for me, I know, just so I can be a little transparent, I'm nervous to share this, but I'm gonna share it. I don't know if you noticed that I talk about having pains. I talk about just growing old. I talk about that. I talk about it in the sense of that, and about my health and why I don't eat certain things. I never completely disclose the true reason why I wasn't eating certain things or why I can't eat certain things. So that's what this video is about. Me having blind faith and realizing that I wasn't really having blind faith. I was actually trying to force God's will. And actually trying to force God's hands into doing what I wanted him to do. And then when I realized that I needed to take the situation for what it was and learn something different. So I'm saying that to say, I was back in 2014, I fell at work, walking in work. It was raining, muddy, and I slipped in a puddle of mud. And immediately my hip was in pain. Immediately I had pain in my hip. And this went on for a few years, me going back and forth to the doctor and getting injections for that pain. And it would radiate from my one hip to the other hip sometimes. And I could not get out of bed sometimes. And when I did, it was not bearable. The pain. Have you ever been in a situation where you just want to trust God wholeheartedly and you don't want to take any kind of medical advice? You just want to believe what you believe and just continue on with that, regardless of how it makes you feel. You just like, no, I'm trusting God for this, so I'm not going to do this, this, and this. So when I fell at work, I was getting shots, and I went to the doctors, and they was telling me, well, this particular older doctor, he was telling me that I just needed to work out. Something that I always do anyway. There hasn't been a time in my life that I never really worked out. So to me, that was just contradictory of what I was feeling, because even my toes, I thought I had gout or something, because I would have pain in my toes. And yeah, it was just unbearable. A lot of the pain that I was experiencing. And I'm very independent, and I like to do what I want to do when I want to do it. And with these new symptoms I was having, it just made it hard for me to just enjoy living, me to enjoy just getting out of bed and doing the simplest tasks. So I didn't know what was going on. So I was going to the doctor, They said I had, and they ended up testing my blood, and they said I had high protein in my urine and stuff. So I went through all those tests and stuff. So eventually they said that I was undiagnosed, but they were gonna treat me as if I had an autoimmune disorder. So they put me on medication, which was Plaquenil. They put me on that, and I was taking that. So I took it for years, and then finally I was like, I feel like I'm fine. So I don't understand why I'm taking this medication. I just don't understand. I don't want to be on medication. I don't want these limitations on my life. I just never pictured my life being a person that has to take medication. I don't really take medication. I don't like taking it. I take vitamins now. After y'all know COVID, everybody should be taking vitamins, but I take vitamins to keep my immune system up. And I was like, I just don't understand why I'm going through this. So fast forward, so this is like 2014. I'm taking the Plaquenil for years. I'm taking the medication. I'm taking it. And then fast forward, like maybe 2019, I was like, you know what? I don't think I really need to take this medication. I'm fine. I'm getting up. I'm active. I mean, I should be able to reverse this issue myself. So, and they're still saying I'm undiagnosed, but they're treating me as if I have an autoimmune disorder. So I'm taking the medicine, then I decided that I told my doctor that I felt fine and I should just stop taking the medication just to see if I am fine, because maybe the medication is suppressing something, or I didn't know. It was suppressing my immune system. It was suppressing it. But I was like, maybe I don't really need this medication anymore, because they said I wasn't diagnosed. I was undiagnosed. So I'm going to trust God. I'm going to trust God for healing. So I want to get off this medication, and I want my life back. So I got off the medication. Everything was fine. Fine. For 6 months. Yeah. 6 months, I hit a brick wall. I could not get out of bed. I could not. But I wanted to trust God and say, you know what? He's going to reverse this. He's going to reverse these issues that I'm having. I mean, I fell. I had the Mirena. Maybe the Mirena caused it, because they said the Mirena can cause arthritis issues if you have family history of arthritis. But I was like, I just didn't want to be on medication, and I didn't want to be limited. So I was going to take a leap of faith. And I wanted to trust God for his healing, his mercy, and his grace. And I wanted this thing to be reversed and not a thing in my life. Because I felt like living with this was like a stigma for me. And it's like, I just thought it was a death sentence. Like, I wasn't going to be able to live my full life and be as active as I'm used to being active. I thought I did everything right. I felt like I did something wrong, and I was being punished for something that I did wrong, which I didn't feel like I did. I've always been healthy when it comes to my food. I've been healthier. I ain't going to say healthy, because I did eat bad. And then I was active. I took care of myself. So I felt like, why? Like, why am I going through this? What did I do to cause my system to start backfiring and attacking itself? Because in essence, that's what I'm dealing with, where my body attacks itself. Some days, if I'm not really taking care of myself, I can not get out of bed. I can feel not up to getting out of bed and being my happy-go-free self. And to me, that hurt my heart. It hurt my heart. And I was like, God, why is this happening to me? God, can you fix this? Can you change this? And they say blind faith. So I decided, okay, I'm gonna have blind faith. I'm getting off this medication. They ain't gonna keep me medicated for the rest of my life, and I'm just gonna live my life until, like I said, 6 months later, I hit a brick wall and I could not get out of bed. I could not walk downstairs. Even with gaining weight, that bothers my body. I can't carry the load. It hurts my body when I weigh too much. So, and then during that time, I'm taking, what was I taking? Phenphetamine for the pain. I would take that like 0.5 milligrams a day, sometimes twice a day. So I'm doing my body a disservice by taking the phenphetamines when I don't want to take the Plaquenil, and the Plaquenil is doing what it's supposed to do. However, I wanted to get God to move faster, to move on my behalf the way I wanted him to move, and I did not realize that God created all these people to make the medication, to make what we need so we can survive, we were born into sin. We're in this world, we're born into sin. So there's a lot of things that we will be afflicted with or go through that isn't going to be pleasant, and it isn't going to be nice. It is not going to be lovely. It's not going to be great. But you're going to go through it, and you're going to get through it. That's what I've learned. And I started taking my medication, and I made a note in my phone. Don't stop taking the medication. These are the symptoms that you dealt with when you stopped, so you don't need to stop. But that doesn't negate the fact that I am still trusting God and believing God for his healing, his mercy, and his grace. Because this can't go into remission. When I was told that I'm no longer just undiagnosed and being treated as, I have been diagnosed with RA, which is rheumatoid arthritis. I do deal with that, y'all. I'm telling you, this is one of the hardest things. Divorce wasn't even as bad as this to me. This is one of the hardest things that I've had to go through when it comes to me and my body. Outside of losing family and friends, with death and stuff, this health issue, this health thing that I'm going through has been the hardest thing for me. And that's one of the reasons why I just decided to take charge of my life in the sense of travel, have fun, enjoy things, experience things. That's why I'm with this is my first time with this and that, because I want to experience life, and I don't want this sickness I don't want this disorder to take control of my life. So I'm not living the best life for me. I want to enjoy life. I want to enjoy moments. I want to enjoy everything that life has to offer me without limiting myself because of this disorder. So one thing that I did notice, and I'm going to share with y'all, because this is one of my private things. Y'all, I'm really sharing with y'all. This is hard for me, but I really want to talk to y'all. Maybe you're going through something different, but I feel like this is the form that I wanted to create a long time ago when I first started back YouTube, where I was sharing my life. I want to create a forum where we can encourage one another and be there for one another. I didn't want to just be beauty, be life. I want to be real. I just want to be in the moment and sharing my life with y'all and just being honest about who I am and what I am and what I'm going through. This is not like a death sentence for me. This is more of you have to adjust. And that's what I've learned, that I had to adjust. And it doesn't take back what I said. I'm believing God for healing and restoration. I have read that it can go in remission, and I'm believing God that I will go in remission. However, I'm taking my medication. I'm eating healthy. I'm exercising. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do for me to take care of me. And I'm doing well, y'all. I'm doing real good. But I'm going to just tell you, sometimes my son be like, I'm moving back closer to home so I can be there and help you out. I cried. I cry about stuff like that because I don't want to be a burden on any of my kids. I want my kids to have a full life. And I don't want them to be limited because of what I'm going through. So that's why I push myself to take really good care of myself. And I know I can't eat meat, y'all. I would not be able to get out of bed eating meat. Meat has my joints aching. When I say aching, I could barely walk. So that's why I don't eat meat, and I'm really doing whatever I can to take care of me and be the best I can be. Oh, I wanted to show y'all this. So one of the effects that I have seen is my hand. I don't know if you see my knuckle. It was burning. I don't know if you watched one of my vlogs where I had these gloves on while I was painting my desk, but it was burning. And so that's what my knuckle did on both sides. This is the worst one. This one is worse. At first, I was like ashamed to hold things up whenever I'm doing my hauls and stuff like that. But you know what? But God, I'm thankful to be here. If that's all I have to deal with if that's all I'm dealing with, I just thank God. I thank God I'm here. I thank God I have time with my children. My mom at 28 died with no health issues. She died from a car accident. And I am 40. I'm in my 40s. My daughter said you don't supposed to be telling your age on the internet. But I'm in my 40s, and I thank God I'm here. I thank God that I'm here. I thank God that I'm healthy otherwise than dealing with this. But I'm telling you, I had blind faith, and I just trusted God that if I just stop taking my medicine, then it's going to make God go ahead and move on my behalf. No, we can't be playing them games with God. We can't play those games. But I feel like God has invented the tool that I needed, which is the Plaquenil, that keep everything calm and at peace in my body. And I manage my stress level. Yeah, that's another thing. I had to learn how to manage my stress level because I'm a person that operates within stress. So stress fuels me to keep going and doing different things, but I couldn't. I had to find other ways to operate without overstressing myself and being healthy, being cognizant of my body. So I have to be very intentional. That's a lot of things that I do now. Everything is very, very intentional and thought out. I'm not just doing things that is gonna overburden myself, and stress me, and just get me so I can't get out of bed. I can't move. I need assistance. I'm not trying to do that to myself or my children or my family. I want to live the best healthy life that I can live. So I just wanted to share, if you having blind faith and you trying to get God to do something because that's what you want, how about take the necessary precautions, take care of yourself, and still trust God during the process, because I'm trusting him during the process. I'm not trying to do anything to push God's hand, because if you're trying to push his hands, you don't want to get that healing that you want on the other side in death. No, I want to get healing. I want to go through remission. I want to be here. I want to be alive and able to operate and play and enjoy life with my family healthy. And this is my new version of healthy. I'm dealing with RA, but I'm here. I'm here. I'm grateful. So if you having symptoms that I had, when I say I had felt like gout, like I thought it was symptoms of gout where I had pain in my toes, and it's more of like pain in your joints, and then like I have pain in my knuckles. So I don't pop my fingers. If you popping your fingers, don't be popping your fingers. So I don't pop my knuckles. I don't pop my joints and my knees. I don't do that, but I had pain in my hips and in my shoulders. But those were the most problematic areas for me, was pain in my shoulders, my hips, and my knees, and my toes and my fingers. I have the joints. Whatever your joints, I was having pain there. But I have gotten to a place that I am good. I'm really good. My doctors always tell me I'm doing good and I'm taking really good care of myself. I go in every 6 months to get blood work to see how the levels are and see how I'm doing my body. And so far, since 2014, I've always had good reports. But like I said, recently I was told that I was diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis, and I'm not believing God for rheumatoid arthritis, but I am taking care of myself. And I'm just taking care of myself. I'm really taking care of myself, and I'm really realizing that in that moment when I was having blind faith that I was just trying to be manipulative in the sense of forcing God's hands to do what I want him to do and heal me in the time frame that I wanted him to heal me, when I did not realize that the healing came in taking my medication and just taking care of myself and just learning to adapt. Because a lot of times that's what we don't want to do. We don't want to adapt. We don't want to do anything differently. We just want to live the same life. And everybody that looks good on the outside, they could be fighting other stuff. So always be kind, be mindful of other people and their issues that they may be dealing with. So I just wanted to jump in here. It probably was all over the place, but I wanted to have a conversation about living and learning and adapting, and learning how to not try to have blind faith in the sense that would be detrimental to you in the long run. And that's what I learned from that I was trying to force God into doing something I wanted him to do, knowing well that he gave me what I need for this, and the medication works, so why not use it? So I decided to start using the medication. I have been living a full life and doing great things since I've learned how to monitor myself and take better care of myself with this new health diagnosis. So I hope this is helpful. I hope I ain't ramble and be all over the place. I hope this is helpful for someone, and I hope that you enjoy this content. And if you want to know like different things that I've done to adjust my lifestyle, different things that I've done to adjust my lifestyle, if I can say the word, if you want to know different things that I've done to adjust my life in order to deal with this new lifestyle, please leave a comment below. If you have any tips or anything that you would like to share, please share. Because I want it to be not a sad thing. I don't want to be sad or anything. I just want it to share in order it may help someone. I mean, we don't know what people are living with. We don't know what people are dealing with. But I just wanted to share and open my forum up for communication about people that is living with autoimmune disorders. Because there's a lot of people that's living with that stuff now, with the foods that we're eating, with different things that we're taking in. Our bodies are different now. Because I feel like every generation have a different illness that they're dealing with because of how the world changes and evolves. So I just wanted to have that conversation. I hope it'll be helpful to someone else. And if you have any thing you would like to discuss, any tips, things that would be helpful and beneficial to me or someone in the comments, please share, because I'm okay with opening it up, y'all. So I hope you all enjoyed this video. I hope it wasn't too heavy for you, and I'll see you in the next one.